We all know that Joss Whedon is a creep, but even worse than that, Joss Whedon is a male feminist. And Joss Whedon has done a lot of really terrible stuff to the women in his lives, including his own wife. And now Gal Gadot is here to expose Joss Whedon and basically confirm everything that Ray Fisher has been talking about when it comes to Joss Whedon over this past year. Obviously, Ray Fisher, he has been bringing a lot of accusations against Joss Whedon, which included an entire investigation by Warner Brothers. And now Gal Gadot is basically here confirming that, indeed, Joss Whedon has done some pretty terrible stuff. And some of the stuff that he's done to even people like Gal Gadot sounds like it is pretty awful. So, we're going to be taking a look at this and seeing what Gal Gadot has to say when it comes to Joss Whedon and the things that were involved with the set for Justice League. So, originally introduced by director Zack Snyder in 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Gadot's Wonder Woman will next be seen in Snyder's cut of Justice League, which will be released as a 4-part miniseries on HBO Max early next year. The theatrical version of Justice League, which was completed by director Joss Whedon after Snyder had to step back for personal reasons, opened a few months after Wonder Woman, but was roundly dismissed by critics and audiences alike. The disappointments turned into something even more serious over the summer when Gadot's Justice League co-star Ray Fisher spoke out about gross, abusive, and unprofessional and completely unacceptable treatment by Whedon during production. So this is what Gadot has to say in response to that. Although she declined to elaborate further, Gadot acknowledged she had her own experience with the director Joss Whedon, which was resolved to her satisfaction. "I'm happy for Ray to go out and speak his truth," says Gadot. "I wasn't there with the guys when they shot with Joss Whedon. I had my own experience with him, which wasn't the best one, but I took care of it there and when it happened. I took it to the higher-ups, and they took care of it. But I'm happy for Ray to go up and say his truth." So basically, it sounds like something really awful happened to Gal Gadot involving Joss Whedon, and so she took it up the chain of command, and it was taken care of. I mean, Joss Whedon, look, he's a male feminist, so obviously he is automatically a creep just because of that. But he really truly sounds like a really disturbed individual. And there's something that is even more crazy that we can add on top of the story, as well as evidence of some of the stuff that might have been going on with this entire situation. So this is coming from Grace Randolph, reported by Bounding Into Comics. Let's see here. So she didn't disclose the incident, but Grace Randolph of Beyond the Trailer detailed one where Whedon wanted the Flash to lay on top of Gadot's Wonder Woman. If you guys remember that from the Justice League movie, Randolph posted to Twitter back in July, "I doubt we'll ever get specifics from Ray Fisher about the whole Joss Whedon thing, but here's one I was the first to report. Gal Gadot didn't want to film this scene, so Whedon did it with a stunt double. That's why you can't see her face." So, obviously, you know, I understand. That'd be kind of a weird and uncomfortable scene to do, so I completely get that. In response to Randolph's tweet, and this is actually really crazy, New York-based photographer Jason LeBoy also claimed that Whedon either locked Gadot or the stunt double in a room and threatened their career. He wrote, "Don't forget to add that he locked her in a room and threatened her career if she didn't do the scene. That is very important and shouldn't be omitted." So, is this truth? I don't know. I mean, we don't have any evidence to prove any of these claims made by LeBoy or, you know, by Grace Randolph or anything else. But Gal Gadot does confirm that indeed she had her own creepy, weird experience with Joss Whedon. And, you know, that should pretty much confirm that, yeah, Joss Whedon has done a lot of very weird stuff. I mean, she even took it up the chain of command and everything else. That it must have been a pretty bad situation if that was the case. In saying his truth, Fisher punctuated his posts with "I will not be silent" and "accountability entertainment," or A over E. He fought hard, likewise, for the cause of the Snyder Cut, but he pushed just as much for a bigger spotlight for Cyborg and the DC film franchise. So, you know, we don't know exactly what's going to be happening with this entire investigation that has been going on with Warner Brothers Nobody knows yet what they mean by remedial action, not even Gadot, saying she hasn't been told anything. Gadot stated, I don't know what that means either. I'm curious to know what's going to be the outcome, and that she's talking about the investigation there of Joss Whedon. We're just kind of in the waiting game when it comes to all of that and stuff. But I'm very interested to find out what we do find out about that. I mean, apparently Joss Whedon has been kicked off of some of his other projects that he had going and stuff. So obviously that's a sign that there's been some pretty not very good stuff going on with the entire production, and that it's kind of trickled down into some of Joss Whedon's other projects, as well as Ray Fisher spoke out about all of this. And it looks like Gadot is also giving her experiences about all of this as well. So it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And we're seeing more of these types of situations where these weirdos, these creeps are being exposed in Hollywood. And that is a good thing. People need to realize that people in Hollywood, they're just flawed, messed up human beings like the rest of us. They aren't special. They aren't, are moral better by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, in a lot of cases, they are definitely worse than we are morally. So these when these celebrities go out there and they continue to pretend that they are like our moral elites, that they are the ones that are paving the way to a more pure and moral future for our country, it is all BS. None of that has any truth whatsoever. These celebrities should not be looked to when it comes to moral integrity at all. So with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Gadot's response to all of this, and sharing some of her things that have happened as well. If you are new here to Geeks and Gamers, consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate that. And also go check out my personal channel as well, Josiah Rises, and subscribe over there. I greatly appreciate that. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you later. Bye.